This channel is starting to turn out to be like the shopping channel. The other day I got an email from a company called Bestarc. Now if you can remember, I did one of their products before. It was a gasless MIG welder. And it was pretty good actually. I've lent it to Curtis at the moment. He's welded his trailer with it, so it is getting used. But I always thought they were going to send me a plasma cutter. Anyway, nothing was said for a few months, and then this week they said, would you like to test a plasma cutter? We'll send you one. So they did. It's here in this box. Let's have a look. Now it's supposed to be one of the top of the line things. God, I've got so many boxes now. Well, let's get this out of here first, and then we'll have a look at the next bit of a proper box. Ah, there we go. Right, nicely packed as usual. Yeah, really nicely packed. Don't usually come with like a double skinned wrapping in them. Plastic. Now, we should have a look and see what it says on the side first, shouldn't we? This is a 110-220 volt Bestarc BTC500XP CNC pilot arc plasma cutter. I hope you can see that because I've had to move the camera around a bit. Oh, it's a small one. That's that bit, and there's a box of bits. A box of bits here. So we've got a hose. What's that? Is that the connector for your computer, for your CNC? We've got a ground. We've got an adapter plug to go from 220 to 110. The instruction book. Oh, there's another connector there. One with 5 pins and one with 2 pins. And of course the plasma torch. Quite a long lead, which is nice. And a little box of spares and bits and pieces. Now this is interesting. I'm intrigued by this because we've had plasma cutters before. Let's have a look at this one. Let's take the cover off. We've had plasma cutters before, and yeah, it looks as if this one's got the air regulator built in. Oh, that's nice. Very small. Oh, what's this here? Arc voltage output, control signal, so it does do the CNC. Oh, that's nice. Airing connections, no messing about with extra hoses or anything like that. I don't know what this one's for. I don't know what that's for, but a nice little compact unit. Ah, these things can get smaller and smaller. Now the thing is, should we set it up and plug it in? I've got nothing to cut at the moment, but let's have a look and see how we can set this up. So I've had a quick read of the instructions and they seem quite simple. I've just plugged it into the mains, but it's got half-turn connection to you for your ground. This is like a Euro plug, so you can only put it in one way and screw it in, so there's no messing about with there. And there's your air adjuster. Now I've got it, like I say, I plugged it into the mains. It was the first time I switched it on. Whoa, look at that. Right, this is interesting. Air pressure. Now I wonder if that only works when you pull the trigger. Oh yes it does. Now what have we got here? Air cut. So it knows it's on 220. We can cut plate or mesh with this. That's really interesting for cutting mesh. What have we got here? 2T, 4T. 2T means you pull the trigger on and off as you would do it with a regular MIG welder, but you can have 4T, so you can pull on and lock it and then unlock it and then it's off for the trigger. PAPT. I don't know what that means, I'll have to have a look at that. But, oh, pilot arc, that's it. Pilot arc and I don't know, something else. Now let's have a look at the back, if it will. Stood in the airline. These connectors are really interesting because one of our plans for Jerry and I was to make a CNC plasma cutting table to cut bits and pieces out. We've always wanted to do that, except my place is too small to put a big table in. But Jerry's got a lot of space, and with this bad boy I think we could do something with that. Now just let me go back to that thing about PT. Post time and pilot arc. The torch keeps blowing for 3 to 15 seconds after the cut. Pilot arc time 3 to 15 seconds. Adjust the duration of the pilot arc. Oh, we don't need to know that. Oh, here we go. Here, just a little bit here. Now, the 2-pin is the arc voltage. Right, you can adjust that. And this is the signal control. Now, anybody who's done this before, you'll know all about these. This 2-pin one can control the height of your torch, so you couldn't really cut with this particular torch. You need a special one that clamps into the CNC table. I think they're more like a long rod, like the torch would come out this way instead of this way. But a lot of potential. I think we could do some damage with that. Now, I bet you're all wanting to see me do some cutting with it. However, at the moment I haven't got any room. I wonder if I could cut that piece of tin up there. So let me see, well go on, let me see if I can cut this little piece of steel. Let me get set up. Right, I've got the machine set up at 20 amps. Oh, that'd be tricky to film this. So it's set up at 20 amps. The air pressure is set at 85 pounds, which is a little bit too much, so we'll turn that down a bit. I'll see it'll have to let a bit of air out. 67, 57, we'll just set it to 50. I don't think, well, let's set it to 30. Clever how it works it out though. Right, so I've just got a piece of scrap steel in here. Make sure nothing's underneath it, and we're going to have a go at cutting. There you go, put your glasses on. Now, no ifs or buts, it's got the choicest cuts. Straight as a die, look at that. You saw how long it took? Just a few seconds. That's really is a nice cut. Yes, I like it. So I guess when it's on a CNC it'll be able to do some really sophisticated cuts. That's nice, it's not too hot or anything like that. I guess we could have taken the amperage down and the pressure a little bit more. Let's try it. 20 amps and 20 pounds pressure. Now this is interesting because it means if you want to cut like sheet steel like this here on your car or Land Rover or anything like that, you don't always have to have a great big massive compressor. And you know, like if you want to use this outside with 110, then I guess you could do that. Well, let's see what it cuts like. Here we go again. I should cut from the other way, but I've got too much stuff on the bed. Right, here we go. Handy if I had a pair of pliers. that didn't cut too well. Oh, I'm telling a lie. Yeah, it cut great. The other side, you see this side here, this is the side I cut with higher amperage and more pressure. And this is what you get when you're low pressure. Now remember, I've just opened this box, so I haven't had to play around with it. I'm going to cut something else now. Alright, have we got something thicker? What about that? That seems a reasonable thickness, doesn't it? Now I guess we need a bit more amps for that. So I'll just turn the machine up a bit. I wish I could turn this around a little bit more so I could show you. Everything's falling off my bench. So we've got 20 amps there. We're going to set it up to 50 amps is its max. Oh, that's good, it's 50 amps. And turn the air pressure up. Let's do £60. One problem I do have with things is the dark glasses. They're too dark, you can hardly see what the hell you're doing. So let's see what that cuts like on this thicker stuff here. I'm having a hard time actually seeing what I'm cutting. Look at that, can you see that? Now I couldn't really see what I was cutting very well because I was sort of in the dark, but that cut that through that in next to no time. A really nice sharp cut, I must admit. What? I'm blown away. You know, what a great little machine. You know, all this stuff just gets better and better as we get older, doesn't it? But my first hypertherm cost an absolute fortune, about 4 times as much as this one. And I think this one just, well, it does actually do more. Oh, another feature I quite liked was this. I'll turn it off. At the back where you plug your airline in, it's got the, I think it's called an M fixing. It's already on, we didn't have to change it, you know, so you can just clip it straight in. And you see, straight out the box, you're cutting. Now be careful with these things because hot metal is not very nice to hold. And wear safety boots as well. I mean tall safety boots, not little ones, because if you're cutting on a bench like this, as sparks go down, you don't want it going down inside your boot. Not very nice. And that's one of the things about plasma cutting. The compressed air blows sparks everywhere, so you've got to make sure the environment you're working in is fireproof type of thing. So if you're working on your car, for example, you've got to make sure that the inside has got some protective shield on, some, you know, fireproof cloth or something like that when you're burning through a panel, because it could spray into places you don't want. But for a workshop use, I could use that one because I don't use anything thicker than that. I'm just looking around desperately for my vernier. What thickness was that steel? 5mm. That's alright, isn't it? What do you want? So, that was just a quick little test. I think we'll get set up later when I get this Land Rover out of the way, and we'll do some serious cutting. But for now, I think this is a really good one. Oh man, I'm amazed how small these things are getting now. I'll tell you a little story. When I was back in England many years ago, and a guy offered me a BOC plasma cutter. Man, it was the size of, you know, one of them big bank vaults. It was a great big huge thing. You had to carry it around on a forklift. These little things here, you can just pick them up and go. I don't know what the weight of it is. Just a minute, I'll find out. Right, I got a little balance here. We'll put it under the handle and weigh it. 6 kilos. 6 kilos, that's all you get. It's all this inverter technology that's changing all welding and cutting machines now. really good. I'm going to go back upstairs and read this manual thoroughly and see what the potential is of this machine, but so far, straight out the box, fantastic, fantastic. It was worth waiting for, wasn't it?